Hello, you there?
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. For some reason, we had a really bad yeah, I can hear you better now.
Okay.
Okay. Juice and Jobber, do you want to ask that question I asked so that you can hear me better?
Which question is that? You can go ahead and send it over.
Okay. You were at WrestleMania weekend, past weekend. What was that like, especially considering Mickey Rourke was there and you trained him for his movie?
Yeah, well, besides Mickey, it was exciting to me because I get to meet some of my old friends, that I've been wrestling with for all the years. So, it was very exciting, and like I said, it's like a reunion to most of us to see each other that we haven't seen in a while.
Definitely. Juice and Jobber.
Hey, thank you once again for being on this show today. This is Juice and Jobber. It's a great pleasure. To kick things off, I'd like to know, did you and your brother come up with the Wild Samoans gimmick, or whose idea was that?
Yeah, that's our, that's our name. We used to carry our real name, the brothers, the Anoa'i brothers. But then we got to get kid out of hand a lot of times because we're kind of like wild and crazy in our gimmick. So, that's how we really get the name. Yeah, we came up with it ourselves.
Nice.
Standing. Afa, this is Damian Van Horn. I'm an independent worker myself, and first of all, thank you very much for paving the way for all of us to be able to come in as well. The question I had for you, Afa, is how was it being trained by Rocky Johnson and the late, great, the High Chief Peter Maivia?
Well, it was very, it was an honor, first of all, because those guys in them days, they're on the road a lot, and whenever they have a few hours, few minutes that they can, to take off from being with their family to spend a couple hours with us in the gym, it's something that I could never forget. But when they do come home, we try to spend as much time with us in the gym so that we can learn more about the business. But it's like it was never enough, and they're only there for a few, not so too long. And then when they go on back to work, me and his friends of mine, Ricky Thompson, we used to just practice,
Sure.
The trade.
Sure. Well, and especially speaking of Rocky Johnson, did you know The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, as a little kid? And what do you think of his major success, not only as a wrestler, but now as a movie star as well?
Well, yeah, I was there when Dwayne was born, so, I'm around him almost all his life. And, of course, I have videos, or his mother has videos of him when he was a little baby all the way up when he grew up with my kids, to where he was always an entertaining young man. And but, of course, nobody ever thought that he was going to become such a big, star like he is today. But he was always a very entertaining kid when he was little, when he was very, very young.
Sure.
Definitely. Early on in your career, you had the chance to work for Stu Hart's Stampede Wrestling. How did that go, and did you ever train a little bit at the dungeon at all?
No, actually, the Stampede was my brother and I's very first territory after we left Arizona, which is where we started the rest of, our careers. And our first territory was up in the Stampede, and we go down to the dungeon a lot and seen a lot of things going on down there, but we was never, be put in a situation where we have to be, Stu Hart is a rough guy, and for some reason my brother and I was never, we were lucky. We were just there to watch him do his thing, But we're very, very fortunate, I can never forget that man because what he did for us, and he gave us the opportunity, and we owe him so much, and his whole family actually.
Definitely. I can definitely see where you're coming from on that. Also, what I'm wondering is, what was it, how was it like wrestling for Eddie Graham's Championship Wrestling in Florida?
Well, I didn't really spend that much time with Eddie Graham in Florida. It was just coming in and out kind of thing, which is the same thing with the Crockett promotion. We were just there, we wouldn't, in them days, you don't stay in the territory too long, you just come there and do your thing and move on. At that time, my brother and I, we just want to test the water and travel as fast as we can, as much as we can, so we'd be able to work with a lot of workers to gain, some experience that we definitely need.
Most definitely. Afa, I got a question. What a lot of fans would like to know as well. How was it working with Andre the Giant?
Andre the Giant, it's very fun to work with, as long as you don't piss him off. He's a great guy. He would do a lot of things to make you look good, and all he'd want from you is to work hard and, not to make him look bad and so forth. This is what I mean. As long as you don't make him mad, he's cool. But it's really a great feeling, a great honor for us to. I remember one time in Detroit, twice in Detroit and one in Rhode Island, up in by New York. He let me and my brother slammed him, which is not too many people. He allowed to be slammed. But that's how much we get to, like each other. And it was Andre that really gave us the open the door for us to come up in New York, because we always run into him in those days, and there was a lot of territory where Andre would travel around the United States, and when he ran into us down south, he always tells us that one day we're going to end up in New York, and finally, one time, it was him that called me and told me to call Vince McMahon Sr. that he thinks that they got a spot for us. And that's how we were fortunate enough to come up to New York.
Definitely. What are your memories of you and Sika winning the WWF tag titles from Ivan Putski and Tito Santana?
Well, again, those guys are great workers and good business-headed guys, good people in real life. They're very, very good people, and anytime you go out with a championship or take a championship from somebody, you have to give them a lot of respect and so forth, because it's like us. When somebody takes the championship away from us, in some way it hurts you a little bit, because they take something that you want to keep forever. So, but yet we respect those people, and we give them the best match that we can. So everybody will be happy or whatnot. So it's any time that you go for a championship fight, you have to give your best, and the outcome will, the people will judge you of what you put out there and whatnot.
Right.
Definitely.
I completely agree with that. What I'm wondering is, similar to that, what are your memories of you and Sika taking on Bob Backlund and Pedro Morales at Showdown at Shea?
That was one of the exciting matches that we had. There was a little thing going on. A lot of people don't know about that. We almost shooting on that match between us and Pedro Morales. Of course, he didn't know. In his mind, he was a champion, and we know that Bob Backlund is a champion at that time. So somebody has to sell when we get ready to do our thing, and he decided not to at that moment, and it just didn't go right with us, because we can't get the heat on Bob Backlund because he's the champion. So somebody has to do it, and when it was time to do the heat on Morales, it didn't. At that moment, he didn't want to, so we kind of stiff each other to get the message over, and ended up good anyway. It was okay, but it's one of those matches that it was hard, but it should have been a lot easier. But we got to it. We got to it okay.
Definitely.
Most definitely. In fact, my question to you is, when working for Georgia Championship Wrestling, how was your relationship with Ole Anderson?
We respect each other. We're a little bit younger than them, I think, because we come in the tail end of their career. So there's a lot of respect there. Not only, in wrestling, you always respect the. We call it old timers at that time until we became old timers. So the young kids always respect us. So that's the kind of thing that we the kind of relationship that we have with the Anderson. And they're good guys. They're good workers, and they're very business-like guys. And but we didn't really, like I said, we kind of come in. We were young, coming in, and they were about to wind down their career. So, but we worked each other quite a few times, and again, they're great teachers. I can say that they're very good psychology, and they're very good wrestlers.
Definitely. I wanted to know, what was it like being a part of the movie Body Slam?
It was different. It was exciting. I didn't feel good about that movie. I felt like we were lousy actors. We didn't. At that time we didn't know in the Hollywood. It was like we were new in the business as far as making movies go, so forth. So I can see myself stepping up on the movie, but as the year goes by, we learn how to relax more in front of the camera. Remember, our image or our gimmick is, we're just crazy guy. We don't pay attention to the camera. We just do our thing and be as ugly as we can be and be as mean as we can. And so we didn't have no time to relax in camera or whatever. We were just too busy doing our thing. So when the Body Slam comes, it was like not only we were wearing clothes, they put suits on us, I think it was, and it just didn't feel like us, and so we tried to pretend like we're actors, and I didn't think I did a good job on it, but it was a hell of an experience.
Right. This is Jason Jobber once again. What I'm wondering is, whose idea was it to have you manage the head shrinkers? Vince McMahon and I suggested a little bit, and he said, "Yeah, we'll give it a shot," because I never did that before. So I was always in the ring, working. So it was a learning process, and plus I wanted to keep an eye on my kids, and I was fortunate enough for Vince McMahon to let me manage them, for a while. Right. Were you okay with Captain Lou Albano later co-managing the team?
Captain Lou is one of the best. He's the only one Captain Lou, and he's the best manager in my book as far as manager goes. Maybe because we look alike, we act alike, and but to me, Captain is the best manager that we ever had, or I can think of in the business anyway.
Right. Damien Van Horn?
Damien Van Horn's phone jobbed out.
Okay. What are your memories of Yokozuna?
Well, he's my nephew, so we trained them and break them into the business, teach them everything that they know about the business. And one thing that we teach all of our kids is to go out there and perform the best that you can in front your fans and so forth, and just work hard, and the rest of it should be okay. It was sad when we lost him because he's such a young age, but it was one of them things where we celebrated his what you call it his death every year. We celebrate it in a way, in our country, in our custom. So he's never forgotten. We always remember him every time that it gets close to the day that he passed.
Right. I understand that completely. What led you to start World Extreme Wrestling?
Well, I started World Extreme Wrestling is because I can go back a little bit from my school. I started a school to give something back to the kids because the way I was brought up, it was not easy to, when I came up in the business, there wasn't any school in them days. And yet there was a lot of people like myself that wanted to get there but didn't know how or where to go, So I was fortunate enough with Peter Maivia and Rocky Johnson and my friend Ricky Thompson that we were able to get something going in the YMCA or whatever. So when I wound down in my career, one of the things that I wanted to do was to, give back to the kids that have the same dream that I had. That is to open up a school so I can be able to spend some time with them, to at least live out their dream and whatnot. And then from there, I realized that you can only train them for so long and so much. And then I decided to open up a little company, which is WXW, to give, my kids a chance for extra experience, after training, and put them in the ring in front of everybody, and so that they can improve and get used to in front of the camera, in front of just like I do when I was wrestling, in the big league. So I try to give these kids the same opportunity, and if they one day they become big stars in the big organizations, such as Batista did, they'll be like at least know what they're about to, to face.
Right.
So that's where WXW comes from, is to give the kids extra training, besides learning the bumps or whatever in the school.
Cool. Great idea it was as well, I must say.
Yeah, very, very fortunate, like I said, I enjoy doing it, and, now that I'm not wrestling anymore, I spend more time with the kids. I teach them everything that they give them advice, and, I teach them as much as I can, and even what's going on in the business today, because a lot of these kids, their mind in the right place, but they never, I guess you can say, like, they've never been on the inside looking out,
Right.
We're always looking out most of the time, try to get up there, but most of us, you never get a chance to be inside looking out. So I was one of them guys who was very, very fortunate to be in that spot. So I turn around and try to teach them to them what's inside and what's the outside as well. So,
Right.
It keeps me busy, and I'm very proud of it.
Right. Of all the people you've helped train, who would you consider to be the most successful?
Of course, it stands out today. Batista is the one that became, very, very successful, and we're very, very proud of him. And then I believe that what I did to Mickey Rourke helped him put him back to the spotlight, so to speak. So I think with me training him, he carried it into a different level where today he's very, very, he's up there now. I mean, and I'm very thankful for that because, now he started to make all kinds of movies, and, for a while, at least 10 years anyway, he was down, and I think this movie bring him back to, to on top, and I'm very proud of that. So, there's so many, my kids, other ones that I'm very proud of, they're successful in their business, and and anybody else that I can, that I help throughout in their career, I'm very proud of them. But Batista stands out, Snitsky was another one, and Dave Kidman was another one. Bass Phoenix is another one. I mean, there's a lot of kids that, that somehow I influence in their career and try to help them out. Even that kid, CM Punk, he come down to my promotion before he became, a WWE star. He came there, and I give him some points, some advices, and so forth. And what a beautiful kid he is. I went in the WrestleMania, and he spent almost 4 hours looking for me. And when he finally found me, he would say, "Pops, I've been looking for you, man. I've been looking for you all day, And then he'd give me a big hug, and then he thanked me. And I said, "What are you thanking me for?" But it's just one of those things, even though I didn't train some of these kids, but I try to help them out in some little ways, and some of these kids, they remember that. I'm very, very fortunate and thankful for them to come by and say thank you to me when I know that I didn't really do that much to them, So it's a good feeling.
What a great list of talent that you have helped train over the years. A lot of the best talent we've had in recent years. What I'm wanting to know is, how was it training Mickey Rourke for the wrestler?
Well, Mickey Rourke, he was Mickey Rourke. He's one of them guys. At first, he didn't like wrestling at all. He's a boxer. But he knew that he had to take the part for this movie. So the first day me and him meet, I didn't say, I don't want to say it was a bad day, but I'll say that I could tell he didn't like wrestling, because he comes right out and say it. So then I said, okay, well, you tell me that in a couple of days after training, and so forth. So sure enough, 2 days after training, he came to me and apologized, and then he tells me things like, he got wrestling all figured out wrong, and, have all the respect for us, and he just didn't understand how I was able to do these things every day for about 30 years, because he only did it for a couple of days, and he already had a couple of MRI, and he can't get out of the bed every morning, so he respects the wrestling, from that point on. And in fact, from that day on, I remembered doing training. We were into about 3 months into training. My sister, which is Rakishi's mother, and Humanka's brother, passed away, and I had to leave the training and go to her funeral in Vegas. And during the funeral, Mickey called me up, and he told me, he was telling me, how sad he was to hear about my sister. And so he took the day off from training, and just to pay respect for me and my family and whatnot. And we've been very, very close. Every day, we almost either talk on the phone, or you text me, I'll text him, and then me and him spend a lot of time in WrestleMania. And but he was one of the boys, Mickey. Usually I train guys for like twice a week,
right,
because it's hard on their body. And Mickey, I had 3.5 months to train him for this movie, and he was there every single day for about 3 months. And so he's a pretty tough guy, But he's like one of the boys, put it that way.
Right. That's
just
a lot
like
of
one of the boys. Yeah, he's crazy, and the guy's not a young guy either, So, I have to give it to him. He's and it shows in the movie. It shows that, I guess as he studied the script of the movie, I guess it brings back some of the real life thing that he went through, because he put it on pretty good,
Right.
It fooled the hell out of me, because I didn't know, It was a small budget movie. We didn't know it was going to come out as big as it is, but I'm very fortunate it did, and I'm very proud of him.
Have you seen the movie?
Oh yeah, I have seen it, and in fact, I've seen it too many times, about 4 or 5 times. So
that's great.
But, it was a great, touchy movie.
Very, very great movie. I've seen it more than once myself, and I'll probably watch it again sometime soon. It
gets better. Yeah, it gets better when you watch it again and again.
It really does.
Yeah.
Another question I have is, UNC have held so many tag team titles from many different territories. Which tag team titles mean the most to you?
WWE. Of course, that's the Big Apple. But the very, very memory one that I can remember and stick with me for a while is it happened twice. It happened one in Puerto Rico when we won 2 belts in one time, the same night. And I saw those kids, Carlos Colon's kids, do the same thing in WrestleMania. And that was something that my brother and I did the same thing. We won two championship belts in the same night in Puerto Rico. And one was in Japan, where we won the belt and the trophy at the same night. So those are the one that it sticks to my head. But other than that, the best, is when you're in the Big Apple, in WWE, it's like the top of the line. So, and we were very fortunate that we won it 3 different times.
And you deserved every bit of it, I must say.
I appreciate that.
Damien Van Horn, do you have another question?